So, almost time for Heaven Delusion. See, I'm ready for my Sorrow coming later today, right? Getting all the kinds of but now then, weird anime about stuff or something. Last episode was kind of weird, right? Because it was not a dream. It was very brutal with the whole biting ants thing, but then turned out to be a dream, which co-authors pointed me. And some people told me that, no, but it's important later. And I'm sure. I'm sure some of the bad guys or whatever, right, are going to have mental powers or similar to that, certainly. But still, it don't give me like a bad taste in my mouth, right? When you have a scene happening, like whatever the scene is, and then it's like, oh, actually, it was not a dream. It's this 10 minutes, this didn't happen, right? Not a big fan of that. I think in Naruto, it works because it's like, it's very, very clear that they have genjutsu, it's very explained, and they have ability to control it. It's like, how do you counter that? So in Naruto, it's very different. But in most shows, where it's more like, oh, actually, this whole nightmare. And I think usually the bad thing about it is that it's too long, you know what I mean? Or it's too brutal, basically. It's like, this is not gonna be real because it's spending way too much, like they're over-exaggerated, they're overreacting when they call it, right? The characters are too much, So either the anime is gonna end here, right, or it's a dream. I remember when I saw, what's it called now again, that heist anime, that I didn't even finish it because it wasn't that good, but I had like a fake death scene in episode 3 or 4 where all the characters gets killed by the bad guys, and they were actually just faking, they pretend to die, right? That obviously you're like, okay, that's not gonna happen, right? If you watch Eden Zero early, just a few weeks ago, same thing there. Like, you're like, okay, well, sure, all the main cast are gonna die. It doesn't make any sense. You can have anime where character dies, but if you suddenly have that every character dies, right? You're like, okay, this is clearly not gonna happen, and this is like a dream or something, or time traveling, you know what I mean? You know that. But anyway, what's the episode? So 3, 2, 1, and go. But it definitely gave me like a little better in my mouth, right? Yeah, not a big fan of just having a long scene and that's turn out to all be a dream, right? But on the same time, I guess what makes me really salty is, but this anime has been very brutal and very weird overall, right? So you're hoping that it's actually gonna be, I guess what makes me salty is you're hoping that it actually is a real scene, right? A little bit in the back of my head, I'm thinking that, okay, this might be some kind of weird stuff going on because the anime is, she's losing an arm and a leg or so on. So thinking that, okay, maybe this is too much. But again, this anime has been very brutal. So, well, maybe it's actually real. Okay, it wasn't, so you get disappointed, right? Because I would much rather have the main character lose an arm and a leg than, I don't know, another, body swap or use another power or get some, I don't know, cyborg arm or whatever, right? I'd much rather have that, right? So, I don't know, but to me it feels just like, shock value scene that wasn't actually shocking, yeah. This is kind of like, oh, it's fake. Okay. A little bit of that. But anyway, see this opening here, I haven't started the episode. No. Then after we should have heavenly, we have the tree guys, the 3-footers. That was interesting, yeah. Yeah, Hell's Paradise is interesting. The monsters are very interesting. I don't know if it's a good storyline, but the monsters are very weird. But here we go, now they are. Yeah, demonstrating against a crazy doctor guy, right? Oh yeah, because she threw off her leg, and so they had to carry her, of course. Her what's it called? Prosthetics. Yeah, prosthetics. Yeah, she. Man, that was a pretty good rock, man. Yeah, like that is not easy, man. Oh, she falls on her head? Wow. Okay, she's just angry. That actually might kill you, though. Oh, come on. Sorrow. I knew it was gonna happen, man. Put it up temporarily, because I haven't really... I usually have it hanging here, right? I only have it for the One Piece episode. Yeah, whatever. Fix it later. I felt that was gonna happen, but I didn't take it down again. No, we do it later. Yeah, it is like a weird... I usually don't have it there. And obviously Aqua is still there, so... But that didn't surprise. That honestly didn't surprise me at all, though. Nah, I was surprised it lasted that long, basically. No, but the thing is that behind the poster, right, of Sorrow, this is like cardboard lock thing. So it's really easy to actually swap it out with Aqua and so on, because Aqua also has one of those. It's like here, in the poster of Aqua here. It is like a beer. Behind the poster, it's like this cardboard thing. So it would be easy. The problem is that Aqua, you know, and the auto poster here, right, with my and so on. So it's more like I have to remove all of the other ones, yeah. And then Nagatoro, I have to go like in like some kind of you know, like like a puzzle, you know, something. Yeah, they're kind of overlapping, they overlay each other. Yeah, so the Zoro one is whatever. You should have it there, right? I have it with my shonen wall over there, usually. Got my All Might and so on the other side of it, yeah. But I mean, nothing's really happening, honestly. I mean, maybe people must but no, it's really happening. He's giving a speech now, right? But I think the problem with anime is, and I keep saying it, that this anime is kind of slow, right? And then something crazy happens. Now it's like, whoa, yeah, that's something. That's the anime, right? Usually it goes kind of like what, and then suddenly it's like, get ready. You know, this anime is a lot like that, right? Yeah. I think I say every week, right? But it's constantly confirmed. See, this guy got like a cyborg arm. This is what I mean. That episode should be shit, man. This is crying. It makes me disappointed. She, he, gender bender character could have had that thing instead. Yeah, like a cyborg hand. Exactly. She could have had this shit, right? She could have lost her arm, and then of course just get like a cyborg hand like this kid or whatever. I mean, it wouldn't be, you know, look nice or whatever. Obviously, this poor girl that is sad. But you get my point. Everyone else has freaking cyborg limbs. So why couldn't the main character also get cyborg limbs? Why was the main character like, oh, I lost my limbs, but that was a dream where they have technology to actually give people like mechanical limbs, like cyborgic enhancements, right? Why not just make the main character a cyborg? I'm not saying that I necessarily want the main character to be a cyborg, of course. But again, the point is that, well, if the main character loses her arm, you just give her a cyborg arm, like in Star Wars, you know, with Luke, you know, yeah, give it a cyborg arm. Spoiler, sorry, I spoiled Star Wars for you, okay? You know, Jesus Christ. Star Wars like 30 years ago, yeah. Plus, 30, much more, 40, 60 years ago. But anyway, now we finally see maybe what's behind the curtain. Oh, it's like basically a human with like no limbs anymore. I thought it was gonna be something worse, honestly. Given how the anime is. Yeah. Okay, this is a person with like that mostly has their torso left. Yeah, a head and so on. Honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be way worse. It was just like, I mean, sure, it's not a pleasant scene to have like, oh, this person lost an arm or something. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Given how weird this anime is, I expected it to be more like, oh, he's like, I don't know, experimenting with the brain or something. Yeah, so it's gonna be like 30 brains or something. You know what I mean? No, it was just one brain. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it's a little weird. Yeah, that could have been worse, I guess. Definitely worse. Yeah, and you see that kind of the breeding machine and so on. Yeah, okay. I guess he's mostly sympathizing with Doctor now then. He's just a good guy, you know. Kinda, maybe. Trying to help people. Yeah, I suppose so. Like doing something like that. He's just trying to help them, maybe. But you got this like weird heart grab power kid. Yeah, use the weird heart grabber. You can maybe do something. Perhaps. Here we go. So his power now then. He's like going in here. Yeah, okay, this is interesting now. He's using his power here to like find the heart, I guess. Because he got this like weird. It's definitely not been explained how he does the thing, but he got this weird power, right? To kind of like feel people's heart or something. What's happening with that, you know, thirsty lady, yeah. He got this really weird, power to like feel their heart, and that's how he can kill the monsters. Which also probably indicates that most people are turned into monsters, right? Because how can he like kill the monsters when he grabs their heart? So, I mean, well, I suppose though, like a horse also has a heart, I suppose. But still, you know, he kind of like, ooh, this is like grabbing the heart of the girl, you know, yeah, it's weird. But anyway. Okay, I'm gonna read the journal. Oh no, okay, you can translate what she's like thinking something. I see. Chat, yeah. a little bit like, yeah. Interesting. So we can communicate. But how does the person write with that? With like the brain power or something? Yeah. How do they like connect to the UI of the? Because maybe breathing. That's kind of how we do with some people that are handicapped in reality. You have them like breathing, and like they can drive their wheelchair by like breathing and so on. Yeah, giving it like, if I do this thing, it's gonna go further and so on. And like if I do this thing, it's gonna understand that I wanna stop and so on. Is that how she did it? I don't know, but it's a little bit like, how does she control the PC or whatever? And she also has like a breathing tube on her. I don't know why I'm trying to break this down so much from a technology standpoint, but I was like, huh? How does it work? But okay, so they're basically taking down all the parts they can move her. Yeah, like taking down all the different cables and so on. Yeah, and the person is of course got like got an oxygen tube, I guess, on there. Huh. Well, it turns off the vad was called EKG. That machine is called something else. Well, anyway, yeah, the machine reads your heart. Yeah, electric party. Okay, that hurt apparently. Yeah, Itai. He's just kind of cute now. Okay, so here we go. Back to the rebellion kind of thing. Yeah. Back to the rebellion. I'm trying to break into the facility. This is probably turned into like a death scene now though. Yeah, this guy's gonna... Whoa, here comes this like a karma. Man, she got like a karma going on there. Whoa! Okay, that was brutal. She got like a karma going on. She basically beat like a freaking karma. I should have had my karmas now, yeah. She basically has constructed like a karma, like this is kind of how some of this martial arts are working, like a karma. Karma is actually used for, farming, right? But then you rebuild it into some kind of weapon. Yeah, that's how a lot of martial arts stuff works, Oh yeah, this is like, I picked this thing and I put this thing on, now it's like a good weapon instead of being a farming tool, right? So that's like, of course, a karma is, a skitcha, yeah, it's like part of, Japanese farming tool, right? But then turned into a weapon, yeah, she basically made a freaking karma. Oh, not a giraffe! Not the little girl's giraffe. Okay, that was cute. She's like, I got the little giraffe, yeah, the kaku. Yeah, got the little giraffe there. Okay. Oh yeah, so you want to see the sky here? So you got one functional eye, so you can look at the sky. Yeah, this is like a sad episode now. She's like staring to the clouds there. Yeah, and slower dying, I guess. Yeah. Because it's sad, like, This episode took like a weird turn, right? Yeah, like it went from this like rebellion. Let's go and raid the facility, and then most episodes is about this poor person that can't move really, and he's helping them like get outside or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was getting sad here. Yeah, staring at him. I guess it's a way for her to like to tell him to like heart me. Yeah, like get the heart ability. I guess so. It's a way for her to like get my do the heart smash that he has. See, so he has this weird. Yeah, he got this weird thing. He can like get a heart of a person. Yeah, the anime better explain this thing, how this thing works, man. How does this thing actually work? How does he grab people's heart or something? How does he feel that thing? That being said, though, a human's heart isn't very hard to find, though. Like, we have the science. This guy's a doctor, so I don't even know why you need this guy, but you can just... Okay, yeah, it's gonna... Oh, yeah, and it's gonna like... Oh, man, this seed, man. The heart, man. This is weird. Now the heart comes on, he's like... The blood of the heart, but it isn't blood drop because he got some weird power. Did he actually get blood from that? It's more like, I guess, her soul or something. But that's a weird scene. But he can like, yeah, he does his weird like mental ability to hurt. He uses his weird like heart ability to like, yeah, because he basically is like demarking her. he didn't get any blood on him. We saw him like covering in the tomato juice, but he actually just kind of like pulse. Yeah, his power is a kind of weird pulse thing. He kind of gave her like a pulse, right? The kind of, yeah, like a martial art kind of, you know, that kind of Daimakyou, right? Death touch, basically. It's like boom, yeah, and that kind of stopped her heart, right? Now she's gonna recognize her or something, suddenly, where she can still talk or something, or she wrote to them when it happened. What she write now? Come on. Yeah, she actually wrote something just when she died. Okay, what did she write? Yeah, it's gonna be, of course, gonna be like arigato, you know. Yeah, it's gonna be like the whole thank you. Yeah, of course, it's gonna be like, you know, a little thank you message. Yeah. Well, it's a sad episode, but I don't know. I don't have any relation to this character. I mean, it's sad, but I mean, I don't think it's okay. Now I see the motion. He's crying on the PC too. Okay, now it's extra sad, but it's just like we don't know this character at all. We met him like 10 minutes ago. I don't know. It's a little bit. I mean, this is sad, but also there's like no build up for these characters. Man, if I just say I'm a mean person or something. Just like, you know, I've never seen this character before, yeah. I mean, it's sad, but it's not like super sad, you know. Some people say it's crazy. I don't think so, because we haven't, like, I don't even know who this character was. Okay, this person died or whatever, and that's like sad, I guess, but it's not like I actually know who it was. I'm gonna fix one thing here. It's really hot. I'm gonna open a window. It's getting really, really hot here. It's been, I think, 33 Celsius. What is it today? 38. That can be true. Maybe 38 inside. Okay, maybe it's 38 inside. Okay, whatever. I fixed it. Yeah, this is like. I'm pretty that as well. Maybe I should remove this thing. I can feel. No, I'm still staying on now. I can feel it. It's getting really sweaty with this thing on. Like a man, it's hot. But okay, she's carrying her body, which can't be that hard then because she's half body. So now they're just leaving or something. Man, this whole thing feels so weird. Yeah, now everyone's like, walking away, right? All these like people with prosthetics or whatever. They're all like, okay, we gotta leave. These people are crazy. Yeah, and he's carrying her body. I wonder what the point of the episode is. I don't know. I mean, it's generally sad. I guess he's like a sympathetic doctor. So maybe he's gonna, because you know they're trying to find, you know, crazy doctor, right? That, you know, killed sister or whatever, took her brain or whatever, right? So I guess this guy a little bit he's gonna be built up as a nice doctor guy. So we can maybe feel some sympathy for, you know. He had two eyes now then. Yeah, is that his eye then? So that works? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, suddenly it's like Shubarash, but suddenly Bondru appears. So it's like Shubarash! Yeah. But yeah, that woman, man, with the karma, she was pretty hardcore, yeah. Of course, it's his plan, I guess, to take over this. Yeah, I guess he just used the rebellions to go over the place, right? I know better what the ants were. Oh, of course. Oh, of course! There's a little ant left down there, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. One left down there under the cars. Yeah, one of those ant babies. Of course. Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, start to find doctor again. The image of Doctor, I mean, of course, it's like a classic. Oh, but they recognize Sorrow? Yeah, that's the guy that was by Sorrow. They know him, though. Yeah, this guy. She's like, where's Doctor guy? They all do next to him, you know this guy, though, yeah, Yeah, that guy, though. We all know him, though. Yeah, it's like, what? What? Huh? Must be Robin, yeah. He's alive still. I mean, Sorrow after all, he has to be alive. It is Sorrow, yeah. We're gonna have, it's the best voice actor, man. Exactly, he's gonna be alive somewhere. I'm thinking he might be a love rival for him now. Yeah, he might have a crush on her senpai, right? Yeah. Kinda a little bit like that, yeah. It is Sorrow after all, so of course we gotta crush on him, right? Sorrow is alive, of course, yeah. Of course. Okay, better doctor? On like a rooftop or something? Was that just like one of the things from the laboratory? I haven't seen those people in a while now, you know, the kids in the... He had like a weird... yeah, what's that? That interesting. Maybe he's part of that laboratory, right? So he's like playing with exactly this thing. This looks like the... That looks like one of those laboratory things. Oh, he's gonna like, I guess, delete. I guess he's gonna finish it. I guess he doesn't want to live anymore, I suppose. Yeah. Maybe? Maybe he takes her eye or something. Wouldn't surprise me if he's like, I wanna have my eye back. Yeah, we're just gonna cut away, I guess, when he shoots, probably. Man, this scene is... Now it's getting sad, man. Like a dread out... Yeah, we're gonna show this scene on YouTube, but yeah, you know what I mean? He's like... Man, this anime is kinda brutal. Yeah, and then he like... Then of course you hear the gunshot, of course. Yeah, of course you do. You hear the gunshot. Yeah, and then the other one up there, he's probably gonna be dead, right? Yeah. Then of course he's dead, of course. Man, that's a brutal scene. This anime is kinda crazy, yeah. This anime is... You're like, oh, yeah, he did himself. Skipping the ending, I guess. Yeah, that's... Yeah, not gonna start and cry. It's my fault. No, it's like not your fault, boy. He's gonna blame himself for this thing. Because the heart thing, it wasn't like he did. It wasn't like he did. He couldn't help her, so I mean... This anime is heavy. Yes, it's heavy. We had another, you know, the latest I've seen in Oshinokoi, right? This Wednesday as well, this week, yeah, so... That is heavy, man. Yeah. But he has this weird thing in his hand, though. And the again did the end of it go into his hand. Go into that thing in his hand right now. No lights back and so on. And the poor girl with her giraffe. Oh, that's like, oh my god, this is sad. Oh yeah, and the last scene is like a little light dying out. But yeah, let's review it. Robin is alive and so on, and he does of course the shooting. But yeah, the heavy last scene there, of course. We see him looking at her and so on. She's dead and so on, right? But men like and now I'm putting some heat for this thing, right? Some fans anime, whatever. But I just think like I have to compare this, right, to Ushin and Koi. They also had this week and also had Delete Yourself scene, right? Taking Ushin and Koi, the whole episode is like built up from that character perspective, right? You feel really sad for Akane and so on, and it's built up her being bullied and cyberbullying and so on, right? And here, I yes, of course, the last 10 minutes, it is built up to the doctor is all sad and he can't save her, and he's like, oh, I love her, but now I'm dead or whatever, yeah. It is built up like that, right? But before that, there was like zero build up for it. So I think it's a little strange. I think it's done a little. Honestly, I don't think this is very well written, okay? I'm gonna get some heat for it. I don't think so. Because it's just like, you know, the building up to the. I mean, I guess the writing point is that you can't just listen to rumors or whatever. This doctor is actually a nice guy. Yeah, I suppose so. That part is well written, like that the character are being fooled by, you know, whatever rebellions or this thing and so on. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it's all like this, you know, charlatans. So that's good. But at the same time, I have a hard time feeling sorry when this character dies because I'm just like, oh, I just met this character like a minute ago, and then he's using his heart thing, and then she dies. You know what I mean? Like I just met them. Like the general thing is, it is sad, but I'm not like really sad when she dies. It isn't like, oh my god, no. I met you like a minute ago, right? So that's very sad. However, he's dead though. Yeah, he's dead. That was sad. Yeah. But the doctor is like, I'm out of here. Yeah, that was sadder. He was crying, and then we see him on the rooftop, and he's just like, I can't live with this anymore. That felt more emotional, of course, because then at least we have his sorrow for like the last 5 minutes, right? So there's some build up to that. But I think that it felt weird. I don't know. Just kind of abruptly we find this character, and then immediately they kill her. You know what I mean? Like that. This was weird. But his death scene, yeah, they had more weight to it, definitely. But I still felt there was a little bit of like the whole thing feels a little weird. Yeah, it's gonna throws two characters, immediately kills them off, and then we don't see them again. But I feel this anime is very much like shock value, so it's a lot like, you know, oh, here's a new character, oh, he's dead. You know what I mean? Yeah, this anime is a lot like that. Instead of actually building up a rapport for that character, that I might care about it more, right? Because this is very like shallow way to present sorrow. Yes, he did die, but I mean, I know nothing about it, but he wanted to save this character, basically. Like, and everything before, everyone's hated him. But like, regardless of that, he's a very, very like minor character that appears in like half an episode, you know. So it is strange. It is strange in that way. I don't know. Yeah, but I think this is what this anime does, right? That scene is still a sad. Don't get me wrong. That scene is sad. But it's not very shocking anymore because I feel this anime every episode is trying to be like shock value. You know what I mean? Every episode is like either an R scene or something. Every episode. This is why I keep watching the anime though. Don't get me wrong. I keep watching this anime because every episode has some weird thing going on, right? But it's starting to feel a little bit like that every episode is supposed to, you know, throw out a controversial scene, you know. Oh yeah, this guy he did himself, you know. Next episode, this thing happens, gang or whatever. Yeah, it's just like every episode has like a controversial take, you know, something, or not more scene, right? But I don't know. I don't feel it spends enough time to like build up the character. I guess where I actually really feel something, where I'm really sad about the character. It's like it's sad, but it's not like super sad because I didn't really like, you know, why would I care about either of these characters, especially the girl, especially the first. The first death scene, there I didn't feel anything, kinda. a little bit, but it was a little bit like, but we just met this character, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was a little bit. I think they should have built her up a little bit more instead. But this anime is weird because they also spend this time, right, jumping to the other characters. They have this rebellion and so on. Maybe if they focused only on this sadness and really focused on these two characters, that would be better, because half the episode is about the other characters, which doesn't really feel very relevant. Maybe it's relevant later, but the whole like throwing the rock star stuff, you know, he took it over, he's laughing about it, you know, maybe that's probably relevant later, but maybe it would be better if it was like, you know, this thing or that thing, sort of going back and forth, right? Telling two different stories at the same time. Of course, the doctor had a weird emblem thing that looks like from the laboratory, so he's probably connected to that thing. So there's a lot of... So in that sense, the anime is well written, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm saying the anime is terrible. In that sense, the anime is interesting too, because it has a lot of hints to this thing. And of course, the ant monster thing, right, is alive down one of the last ants is under a car or something, right? So of course it's gonna return later. So it's a lot of things happening. But there also might be a thing with this anime though. And honestly, I do compare it with Oshinokoi, right? As that last episode of Oshinokoi, because they also had a very, sad I don't wanna leave scene, right? But in that anime, it's all about most episodes about her, right, Akane, and we see her perspective in this thing and that thing, and there's not so much else going around it, right? Not so much on the side, so there's a little bit with Ruby and Kana, but not very much otherwise. And also the scene with Akane is about Akane. But this anime is definitely weird because the scene about the doctor being sad is also about dropping hints, right, to like the world issues, right? So what I mean is that I'm trying to be like, I'm genuinely trying to be, okay, this is a sad scene, right? What do I feel and so on. But at the same time, when I'm genuinely trying to feel his emotions, right? It's like these hints of like, oh, actually, he's an experiment doctor. He's actually this thing, right? So at the same time, while a sad scene is going on, in the background, it's like magical mirrors are flying around. Well, who is the evil guy? You know what I mean? I hope people understand what I mean. Basically, if it was just him being sad, and explaining his love or something, right? Then I think I would have felt a lot more for this anime. But the anime is really weird because it's a sad scene, but at the same time, when he's dying, they're showing this like secret symbol in his hand or something. So it's hard to focus on it actually being a sad scene because you watch this mystery anime, so you focus on the mystery instead of the sadness. And I do feel that kind of makes the scene really weird because like it's hard to be sad for a character you just met for that matter, right? Obviously, but even if I'm trying them to empathize with him and be sad for him, right? I'm also trying to figure out, the whole anime's mystery, who's the murderer, what's the monsters, right? And the anime is doing both at the same time. It's very hard to just feel like emotional for the character, even though it was sad though. It was sad, but it don't get me to that method. For example, in Oshinokoi Kane is all about her and her sadness. It's not like we're seeing who killed, Mom in that anime in the background, standing there like, and who's that guy? He's a murderer. That is not what I'm seeing, right, in that with her scene. It's focused on her sadness, her, bullying, right? It is not a lot of hints to, like, who killed Aqua and Ruby's mom, kind of thing. That's not in that scene, right? But this anime it is, yeah. In this anime, this guy is sad. He's like, oh, maybe I should die. And then on the same time, the anime is also like, oh, look at this mystery. Look at these clues for a murderer on the same time. And I'm just like, okay. So because my brain obviously then is more focused on trying to figure out the clues and the mystery. Like who is behind this monster or whatever. Rather than focused on his sadness. I don't know. What do you guys think? But I think the anime is very weird in a sense. Because every episode has to like throw in a lot of mystery, right? And it can't just kind of stay on the sadness. It reminds me of something people complain about in Marvel movies, with like Thor movies, right? It's like, oh, here's a sad scene, let's throw in a joke instead, right? Let's throw in this joke. And I mean, I have kind of just completely, ignored the Marvel movies for the last, 5-6 years, right? And it's also one issue I have immensely with the Marvel movies, of course. That they have like a sad moment and then they're like, fart joke basically, right? Which is, don't get me wrong, way worse than this thing. This is better. But this anime instead is like, look at the sad scene. Also, look at the mystery happening at the same time. And I'm just like, okay, the mystery is more interesting though than a side character death though, from like an actual watching standpoint, right? So it kind of definitely diverged me from actually caring, if that makes any sense. But I do think so. I think the writing is very weird in this anime. I think it should focus on one thing to some extent. You can definitely have more than one thing going on in the same scene, of course. But it removes so much of the emotions from it when you also try having all this bait, having all this like, oh, have you seen this thing? And like, yeah, I guess I have not, so let me show the thing. Whatever, guys. Rant post. I don't know. But this anime is very weird. But also, reason why I keep watching it, right? And I said lastly, I think this is a very common thing though for almost every goddamn horror thriller anime. They always have this issue with like, the author have all these ideas, right? And then they have, yeah. Usually I feel that horror anime artists, they usually are very all over the place with the actual storytelling or how to present what is happening, and they're mostly good at like having all this, crazy storyline, right? And I feel that the author is like, well, I have to have a death scene, so people are sad, but what I actually want to tell you is the mystery. You know what I mean? I feel the author, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel the author wants to focus on the mystery in his hand, right? Rather than the death scene. That's just like a thing happening around it, yeah. I feel the author's like, oh, look at this mystery that I... whatever, guys. Subscribe and have a great day.